Hello everyone. So I basically wanted to do a short video on what I'm doing currently with my new account in DC Worlds Collide because I started over about a month ago and I wanted to show you my progress and instead what I'm doing right this time around. So early on I got really lucky and I managed to roll for Wonder Woman um, in the in the gacha. And just recently, I managed to get Lex and Green Arrow as well. So basically, Wonder Woman and Lex are two of the recommended characters for to build a good team, and or at least a team that will succeed in a lot of game modes. So I really was focused on getting these characters, and I'm so fortunate that I was lucky enough to get all of these. So this is my most recent account. I actually am still managing my old one. Like I just check in, get the resources, do the daily missions. But this is the account I'll be using going forward. And these are my characters so far. This is my roster. Um, the starting five that I normally use are Wonder Woman, Lex, Jessica, Poison Ivy, and Kid Flash. I'll just run through the gear I currently have on them because I'm still in the point in time where I'm leveling them up, trying to get the right pieces for gear. So these aren't all um, recommended for each character. I just make do with what I get. So that's the stats I have for Wonder Woman. Wonder Woman is great because her attack is really high and her health is really high as well. So I have her in my front row as like both attack and a DPS. Lex is really great because first of all his shielding ability is really good. Um and as a tank he um yeah, I believe that he allows you to he allows your characters to like assist. And then also there's this his passive. So it's like he's Lex is very much a collaborative character. So every time your other team members are engaged in combat and just trying to kill the enemy, he gets some benefits or buffs or just perks as well. Jessica, I specifically included Jessica in like the two choices I have for the summoning because I really like the fact that she can shield but with her ultimate, but at the same time she can also do a basic attack afterwards. So she's a very like multifaceted character, and that was really what I was going with for the this second account. I really wanted characters that could do several things and not just be limited to like specific roles within my starting lineup. Poison Ivy is a little interesting. Like usually she's not a very recommended character, but in on this account she was the first character that I got and I kept getting her shards, so it worked out. I also like that she can inflict poison, although on her own she's just all right. But like if you pair her with other poison characters, I'm sure she'll contribute more. Um, but and I really love that she can target the back row. Like for me, that was very important because in my first account, I didn't have any characters in my starting lineup that could target the back row, and she's just really great for that. Kid Flash was of course a character that I had in my roster previously, but it's only now that I got him early. I was lucky enough to get him early in the summoning in the mother box. So lately I've been using him as my support over like Raven. I considered Raven, but People seem to recommend Kid Flash more because of how often he heals. Sadly, he can't revive, but so far his healing has been very beneficial to me. So these are the characters I have so far. As you can see, compared to my other account, I haven't really ranked up these elites. Yeah, I really haven't ranked them up because ultimately I just rely on my legendaries and epics to get me far. So we'll just be trying them in a few game modes. Let's see. Evil Falls, how well they do here. Hopefully there's an improvement because as you can see on this team, I had Bane as my first like official tank. And then eventually I just switched to Lex once I got him. I literally got him like just recently. So I really didn't expect to get Lex, but I'm really just so glad I got him from the mother box. In fact, I was actually well, okay. I'll admit it now while they're in battle. But I was actually buying Lex's shards in the I believe it was the one of the arena shops. I was already buying his shards a long time ago. Like I'll just continue getting his shards like early on even before I had the character because I was really going to use the character fusion event thing that newcomers get to really just exchange fragments for him anyway because um compared to like my other account where Superman is one of my main tanks because I had him geared in such a way that he had 4 block and 2 health sets. He was mostly just bulky, like really strong, could really endure, but that's it. The thing with Lex here is that he shields the entire team, which is really really helpful. Like it's so helpful, and every time, as I showed earlier, his teammates attack or do things, he also benefits from that as well. So more than just standing there and being strong and having lots of health and block, um there are a lot of like subliminal or under the table dynamics that each of these characters possess that really sort of help each other in battles. And I managed to do that in one try, so you really just see how essential Lex's shields are. Let's try um let's try a certain team. Hopefully we get one that's like around the same level. I'm trying to look for okay, this is pretty close. Yeah, pretty close in level. So we'll see how I do against this team. And but of course, beforehand, let's look at our ultimate priorities, which I didn't do in my previous video, which I'll be doing now. So this is interesting. I really want Lex to go first as standard procedure. And at least for arena, I have Wonder Woman that next because after Lex's defensive move, um that shields the entire team. I want Wonder Woman to be able to AoE the entire team. And then back again with Flash's healing, which is a defensive move. Jessica is multifaceted, so her ultimate is a mix of defensive and offensive. Uh but oh, okay. So you guys basically just saw how the legendaries really carried me through that battle, even if the the power of the other team and my power were relatively like pretty close. So we'll do a bunch of filler stages at this point so that you guys can see how this team does in the campaign mode and how that is different from the arena. So usually in the campaign, I'm a little bit more prudent, as you can see. I still started with Lex's shield, yes, but I followed up with Jessica because I really wanted to emphasize defense. And just having Lexus and Jessica shielding ultimates one after the other really keeps the ability for my team to absorb damage like going. So I'm gonna go away from auto here for a moment since I can see that Lex's health is depleting and I really want Lex to survive. So I'm gonna have Kid Flash heal and then I'm gonna go in with Wonder Woman's AoE. Because now that I've performed the defensive moves of Lex and Jessica, it's really time for offensive now. So that we don't prolong the battle any longer than it's supposed to. And for the fun of it, um, I'm just gonna go auto for the rest of the battle until Clayface is defeated. And then, hopefully, there. That does the trick. So even though this team does well in different game modes, there are certainly times when you'll have to just play manually to make choices. It really depends on what you're experiencing. But ultimately, this is what I wanted to show. Um, I'd also like to point out one more thing, and it's that the reason why I kept Ivy on my team is because um I know I have two legendaries. That's Wonder Woman and Lex. But with Lex's fragments, I can get it from this shop. So in a way, I don't really have to rely on the mother box too much. With the Elseworld shop, I can get Ivy's fragments, and that's really why I've kept Ivy with me ever since her being the first um epic character that I got in this account. So that helps. With the unrestricted basically I mostly prioritize Wonder Woman's fragments. And then but now that I have Lex, it's still gonna be Wonder Woman and then Lex and then we'll see from there depending. And again with like the guild shop, I can also get fragments from there. So ultimately you do want to make sure that the characters on your starting five um are, how do I explain this? They're easy to rank up and progress eventually, because if you get two obscure characters or just many characters that specifically come from the mother box, it's going to be really hard for you if you're an F2P player or free to play like me to progress in this game. So this is my new account. I'm just ending with just my characters, and I wanted to share what I've been doing, and how a free to play player can possibly progress. It's okay to start over, even I'm starting over, with this account. So it's all right. You can just balance two accounts. It really doesn't matter. Okay. Thanks, guys.